Hey, what's going on, Zach?
Hey, what's up, Adam?
How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm excited to be here.
Cool.
As you can see, I got my logo.
I like it. That's a rad logo too.
Thank you.
Dig it. And you had your guitar in your hand for a second. That was cool.
I did. I mean, I didn't know if you wanted me to play, so it's on hand if you need it.
We've never had anyone perform, but it's up to you, man. It's really
word. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd play a tune if you guys are feeling it.
Sure. You want to do it at the end, or you want to do it before?
Yeah, let's do it at the end.
Cool. Rad, dude. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, we've never had anyone play before. That's awesome.
Rock on. Are you guys in California?
Yeah, we're San Diego.
You're in San Diego. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Are you in California?
I'm in New York right now.
Oh, New York. Okay, right on.
Yeah.
Originally from New York?
I'm originally from Denver.
From Denver. Tell me about growing up in Denver.
Did the interview start?
Yeah, we always just go. Is that cool?
Oh, you just go. Yeah. Yeah, Denver, it was great, man. I mean, it's you grow up right next to the mountains, so it's a very outdoorsy state, and I got a good dose of that. So nature's my thing.
Right on. How'd you get into music?
I got into music since I was a kid. I think I came out of the womb liking music. So yeah, it's been in my blood forever, and I got into guitar when I was 10.
Okay.
And just haven't stopped.
Was that the first instrument you picked up? Guitar?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So 10 years old, and then did you take lessons? Were you like how did you just start playing in your room? Like what was your step there?
Yeah, I was taking guitar lessons and playing in my room. So I guess a lot of hours alone in my room is where a lot of my style comes from.
Uh-huh.
So I was like in lessons, I was learning stuff like Blink-182 and
cool.
A lot of that pop punk stuff. So a lot of that gets in my music.
Yeah, that's kind of my favorite genre.
Oh, is it?
When I grew up, yeah, like I love that stuff.
Dude, I kind of think Blink-182 is one of the most like important bands of our time.
It's so hilarious you said that, because we actually live pretty much where Tom and the band started here in San Diego. We live in Rancho Bernardo, which is next to Poway, where they're from. They're from there.
Oh,
so like,
nice.
The sombreros that they speak of, and like Josie is the one that's right by us and everything. So it's cool to hear other people. It's cool to hear other people that are like, oh, like Blink is super important, because they were just kind of like our hometown band that just became this,
no way,
gigantic, I mean, this is pre, Travis Barker and stuff, like with their first drummer, but it was like.
So did you see them when they were like?
Yeah, when they were. I mean, they were.
Did
big.
You really?
Yeah, actually, Blink is the first band I ever saw live.
How old are you?
I was 12 or 13. I think I was
awesome,
like
man.
6. I would have been 12, almost 13. They played, and it was before they were Blink-182. They were just Blink at the time. They didn't have the 182 yet. And they played this event up in the Big Bear Mountain by us, close, and it was before Dude Ranch came out. So they played a lot of songs, and they were like, oh, this is gonna be on our new record, and they played like Damn It. It was crazy.
bro, that's like one of the first riffs I ever learned on guitar.
Love it. That's so rad.
I mean, it's like that shit's in my blood.
Oh, dude, I love it.
That's very cool that you got to see him at that
That's
stage.
rad. That's how you learned guitar. I love hearing that story. I love that. That's so cool. What was the first band you ever saw live? I'm curious now.
Backstreet Boys at the Pepsi Center.
Nice.
I was obsessed with pop music when I was that age. I was
sure.
I guess first grade.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and then I think the next show I saw was Train and Matchbox 20.
Oh, rad! Actually, I really like Matchbox 20. Train that guy's got a killer voice too.
Yeah. Matchbox 20 is it Rob Thomas? He's an amazing songwriter.
Yeah, he's great. And he's got a cool voice too. I dig him.
he does.
Right
He
on.
does.
So you're playing, going back to you had lessons, you're playing Blink, and then did you form a band? Like, what was next for you?
Yeah. So my first band I ever created was called Section 52. And it was based on the idea, like I thought that you could only be a good band if you had numbers in your name.
Sure. Well, that was a huge thing for a while.
Yeah.
41. Yeah, Blink 182.
Exactly. So yeah, that was kind of me just in middle school. But then I just kept writing songs throughout middle school and high school. And then in the middle of high school, I recorded an EP that spread really quickly throughout Denver. And
Oh, wow. Just a solo EP?
Just a solo EP. And within like a year, I had a manager, was playing opening for awesome acts in Denver, was on the radio.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then so by the time I was going to go to college, I was offered a record deal with Universal.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I went the major label route for a couple of years and learned a bunch of stuff. And
wow.
So
like how did that whole, like, how did the thing blow up? Do you know? Were you just playing a lot, or?
You know, man, it feels like fated, because I put so little energy into promoting it. Like I made this little EP, and I was like nervous to even show my friends, and
Mm-hmm.
I gave it to a couple friends, and within a couple months, like everyone in my big high school like knew my name and shit. I was like, whoa.
Oh, wow.
So it just kind of spread like wildfire. And then this manager in Denver named Chris Tetzelli, who's just kind of he's a big time music manager. And yeah, he got a hold, he heard my name and got a hold of the EP, and things just blossomed from there.
Whoa. And then, so you signed to Universal, and then what, did you go on tour? Like, did you put a record out with them? Like, what happened next?
Yeah. So I learned a lot from the Universal experience, but we recorded a couple albums that didn't get released. I toured the country with different acts. Yeah, like I had a really amazing experience. It didn't click necessarily, and I think this is probably a lot of people's experience with the major label thing. But I really needed a hit. And I wasn't, you know, they'd fly me to this city and that city, and I'd write with different songwriters, and it just never felt right. Like the songs that we're creating never resonated with me. It felt like a little too poppy, and it ended up.
It just
like,
fizzled out, kind of.
Yeah, I ended up getting dropped, and after that, I just started making records on my own and did the Kickstarter thing. And so ever since then, man, it's been, well, up until this point, I have a label now called Missing Piece, and they do also do PR. But for a big chunk of time, I was just doing the independent artist thing and hustling. And yeah, so now I have a team, and it feels amazing to.
That's cool.
Yeah, to have that
to
support.
not have. I was gonna say, not have to do everything on your own at that point.
Yep.
So you got to. So pretty much. I mean, you signed to Universal, and you were still in high school, or you just got out of high school?
Just out of high school.
Just out of high school. Okay, 18, yep. And then they put you right on the road, and you were gone for a while and recording records. Like, who did you get to tour with?
I toured. So the big ones, Michael Franti.
Oh, wow.
Michael Franti is Spearhead?
Yeah,
Michael Franti, Rodrigo y Gabriela, John Butler Trio. There's a very random, this is kind of like in my highlight reel, but I opened up for Lana Del Rey on her first two American shows in LA and New York. And I was like so out of place, dude. It was actually funny because it's like this, like, you know, this dude with an acoustic guitar gets up there, and it's like, I was out of place. I was way out of place. But it's one of my claim to fame.
But still, I mean, wow. Now she's headlining like Coachella and stuff.
I know. It's just funny. But the main acts were like Franti, Rodrigo, Gabriela.
That's cool.
John Butler Trio. And so those were dope because we would play these like
arenas.
Yeah, I mean, I opened up for Fronty at Red Rocks, which was a
Oh
big,
wow, yeah.
yeah,
I've
which is
always wanted to
crazy,
go there, man. Is it like, is it the best
dude.
sound ever?
Um, yeah, depending on the night. I mean, but yes, it's like you've seen pictures of it, so it's like
Yeah.
the sound just like funnels in between these two rocks, and you lose your mind as a music fan. You lose your mind for sure.
Okay, I need to go there. I've been trying. I mean, yeah, I want to see a band there, like more of like a electronic y. Like I would love to see like the 1975 there, for an example. Like I
Yes,
think something like that would be really rad. Is
yeah,
where it has like, I don't know, like I saw like the Punk and Drublic tour went there and it was like no effects and like all these bands like that. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'd want to see that at Red Rocks.
no, yeah, no. You want a dingy like dark fucking bar for that one. I think
Yeah.
uh yeah, that makes sense. It's like a really transcendent space. So you want to see stuff that gives you that feeling.
Right,
You know
like
what I
a
mean?
Tame Impala or something. I think like something like that would be rad to
Ye-
see there.
Dude, yeah, I actually saw Tame Impala there
Oh my
when I was in high
gosh.
school. Yeah,
Wow.
and that was definitely transcendent.
Right on. Well, back to your journey. I've never been there and I've just seen it and like I'm always like, oh, or like a Bon Iver would be rad. I don't know. Something like that.
Oof, it'd be amazing, man. Amazing.
Right on. So okay. So you put out those records with or you're with Universal Music for a little bit and then that kind of ended. When you
Yep.
started going on your own, like tell me about putting out stuff by yourself. Is that a little bit different? I don't know. Like, was
Yeah.
it hard to book shows and were you playing out in Denver and tell me what happened?
Yeah. So I mean, after the label thing fizzled out, I moved to LA for a year and
Oh,
like
okay.
just kind of did my hustle. And I worked for an urban gardener in South Central LA and was just kind of, I was like in vagabond mode and I was playing music and I was like playing shows and stuff, but also just like focused on other things in life.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point I realized that I really wanted to get my degree. I was like, I felt like since I didn't go to college right after high school, I felt like I missed out on this part of my life. And so,
Mm-hmm.
I ended up applying to this program for people who, students who didn't go to college right after high school at Columbia, and
Wow.
ended up going there. So I graduated there back in 2019 in May.
Wow. Columbia.
Yeah, it was
That's
cool.
awesome. Did
It
you
was
go for
cool.
music?
No, I
Oh.
was like, I was trying to actually like put down music. I mean, that was one of my intentions. Was like, I hit this wall with the music thing, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Like, I need to find another life path.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really patient with the songwriting stuff throughout my time at Columbia, and completely like fell back in love with every part of the process of being a musician, of being a songwriter, and so that's why I'm here now.
Was there like a moment that you remember like being at college and being like, you know what, I need to go back to the music thing?
No, there wasn't a moment. I mean, really, it was just the pressure of graduating and knowing that, like, all right, what do you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
bro? And so yeah, I think I realized how integral it is to my life, and I had all these songs that I wrote during college too,
Mm-hmm.
and so yeah, the same thing that happened when I was in high school, where I don't know, it just felt like this really nice natural process of things coming together, me meeting the right people, and I fell back into it and haven't looked back. So
Wow.
I've been calling this my second wave.
Second wave. And have
Yeah.
you been like when you're going to school and stuff, were you playing out around the area or anything, or were you always just playing live still?
Yeah. I was once in a while. I was really hitting a spot in New York called Rockwood Music Hall. It's kind of like this musical hub in New York where every artist in New York plays Rockwood multiple times.
Okay.
So yeah, I was still like honing my craft and just making sure I was still in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then like in my last 6 months of school, that's when it like really started picking up. I went to Minneapolis to record an album with John Fields, a super amazing
Oh,
producer.
wow.
And so yeah, that's what we're getting ready to put out, is that album that recorded back in summer 2019.
Wow. Well, tell me about working with him, because he's worked with some big names, right?
Yeah, John's the man. John he's just one of the most, like, he has an infectious energy, and it just like makes the studio so much fun. And he's kind of like a traditional producer, in some sense. He also does the engineering,
Mm-hmm.
which is, it just makes it really like a fast process. There's not a lot of sitting around waiting, which I like. He really
Mm-hmm.
wants to keep it moving. And he pulls in all these amazing musicians from the Minneapolis scene. So
Mm-hmm.
like, even do you know Corey Wong from Wolfpack?
No, I don't.
Just this like incredible guitarist. He
Oh,
played on a
cool.
few tunes, and like, just like really heavy
Yeah, Minneapolis
Minneapolis
has a
musicians.
big scene. They have some big bands out of there too. I mean, Verve Pipe,
Yep.
I think, was from there, and
Yep.
well, Soul Asylum for sure. So yeah.
Word. Yeah, they had a big rock wave. They had that big rock wave, and like also Semisonic is from
Oh yeah,
there, and like,
Semisonic.
yeah. So there's that big rock wave, and then there was also the big soul, like Prince's, obviously,
Oh
from.
sure, Prince. Yeah.
So like, there's a lot of that energy as well. And so I was blown away by the music scene in Minneapolis.
That's awesome. And then
So
so
yeah.
that record came together, and you
Yep.
really is Up going to be a part of the new album?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was
Up.
the first single from it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That was the first single.
And
And
you just released another song called "Take to the Floor" as well, right?
yes, sir.
Very cool. Well,
Yep.
tell me about Up.
So,
So you put that song out. Why was that the lead, track from the new album?
why is that the lead track? Well, I think it's a catchy, pop song with a positive message. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it just worked. It just worked. I think, I don't know. I don't know. It just made sense. I don't know how to put it any other way. It's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah,
Cool.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the first single for sure.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, I have a lot of fun playing it, and yeah, it's a song about like being resilient, and kind of me being my own Tony Robbins,
Sure.
and like
Yeah.
telling myself to like stay out of victim mentality and just like perk up,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Nice. And what about Take to the Floor?
Take to the Floor is a love tune that I wrote kind of about like going to other friends' weddings, and because I'm at that age when everyone's getting married.
Everyone's getting married.
Yeah. And so it's kind of about me sitting in those weddings and being like, wonder if I should start thinking about this wedding thing or
Yeah.
marriage thing.
Sure.
And so it's about that, but in the end, it's really just a love tune. It's a nice little love song that hopefully people will want to dance their first dances to.
Yeah, it's a great song. I really actually really like the first Up as well. I mean,
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm stoked to hear the full record.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and you're doing this. Tell me about the 50 state live stream tour. I need to know about this because I have some questions.
Yeah. It's something that my team came up with, just as a way to keep staying active during the lockdown. I guess, yeah, lockdown. But yeah, so I've been hitting. The goal is to hit every state in the country, by playing either through like the social media accounts of venues or businesses or even other songwriters, and like joining up with them on Instagram. Yeah, it's just a way to stay active, man, and make it so I can play live and get in front of new people and play for old fans. And yeah, it's just a way to stay active. But we are really lucky. We're partnering up with Live Nation, so like on August 10th, I'm playing California, and I'm playing 10 different venues.
Oh wow.
Like I'm playing, but playing. It's like I'll be on the Facebook of the Palladium and
Rad.
like all these like fucking amazing venues. Yeah.
Any San Diego venues?
There is one in there. I can't remember the name. What's the like? Are there any like kind of
There's
theaters?
House of Blues.
I think it's House of Blues. I think I'm at House of Blues.
Or there's the Observatory. There's one in Santa Ana also. So there's 2 in Southern California. I don't know.
I know Observatory is on there, and there's like multiple House of Blueses on there. So
okay, then maybe it's just it could be House of Blues, San Diego for sure.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope.
So are you playing from your house? Like, how are you doing it? Like, I was wondering, like, are you going to these cities and playing like in the venue as an empty room, or are you playing from your house and just broadcasting on different networks or different channels?
I would love to do that. I would love to go and actually play in the venues. No, this is just me in my apartment.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, let's say, I was wondering, I'm like, I don't know if how comfortable you would feel if like you had to go to each city and like doing a tour during all of this, but that makes sense if you just.
I would do it. I would for sure do that. Actually, I'm definitely crazy enough. Yeah.
That's cool. How'd you get in contact with all the people and like put together like all 50 states? Like that's a really rad idea.
It's man, that's just my team. My team hustles and works hard and has good connections, and so there's a lot of that. And then some of it is just like, some businesses that reach out to me and want to be a part of it. Different songwriters that want to be a part of it. So it comes in from multiple ways.
Well, that's cool. Did you have like other artists that you book on certain shows, or is it just you playing to these?
Yeah.
Is it or like a show like where you have an opener for like San Diego or wherever?
No, it hasn't been like that yet, but I think for the next leg of this we might be doing something similar to that, like where one of the issues is like figuring out if I can do it on Instagram or Facebook, because they're very different beasts, I guess.
I've been told that. Like, I heard Facebook's a little easier than Instagram, or maybe it's vice versa. I don't know.
I think the best thing about Instagram is the video and audio quality, I think, is higher.
Oh, is it? Than Facebook?
At least in my experience. Yeah. So that's what I like about Instagram. But there is one artist on this named Brooks Hubbard. He's a really dope songwriter from New Hampshire. We're going to like do an Instagram live thing where we'll both be on. He'll play a song, I'll play a song.
Oh, cool.
And just, kind of like songwriter in the round.
Yeah. Like go back and forth, and that's really rad. Cool.
Yeah.
So what are the next states that you're going to be doing?
I just did Maryland like right before this interview.
Oh, wow. So you just played?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think I did Tennessee with an American Songwriter on their Instagram. And I did.
Rad. That's who we work through too, American Songwriter.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So this interview and everything will go up on their website and
Oh, cool.
Too. Yeah.
Rock on.
Cool. That's all. I wish I would have known that you did it. I didn't even notice that. That's
all good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So.
Cool. Rad, how many songs do you usually do? A few?
I usually play 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh, wow. So you're doing a full set.
Yeah. Which I think, what's interesting is like people's attention spans are pretty short on social media for these live streams. At least they are my attention span is short. So I think the shorter, the better. I like to keep it closer to 30 to 45, but if people are sticking around and I still see that the viewer count is up, I'm like, I'm gonna keep going.
Just keep going. Do you take requests or anything like that? Are you able to interact with the people watching?
Totally. Yeah, get in the comments, and it's great.
That's awesome. When does the record come out? Do you have that announced yet, or?
It's not announced yet, but I have no qualms. It's coming out September 25th.
Wow, rad.
So So yeah, I'm very excited.
And do you care about putting it out? We'll probably all still be quarantined. Does that bother you at all, or?
No. I mean, listen, I think it's not the ideal situation, but it is the situation. So that's one of the things I'm grateful for is the team I'm working with right now. Like no one has used it as an excuse to like not kick ass on this record,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So
Sure.
that's amazing. And yeah, I mean, I'll be selling, we're making LPs for the first time, like vinyl
Oh,
LPs.
cool. That's dope.
So,
I'm gonna order one of those.
oh yeah. I'm excited to have that. I've never had that before. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm selling journals as well because
Wow.
I'm a big journaler. So I try to make merch that I would use and that you know, I want to make like high quality merch that people can actually use in their lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. It does make a huge difference if a band has really cool merch. Like it's like, oh, this is really dope. Like I love seeing like this
Yeah.
band I interviewed from Canada. They made this like little lunch pail, and there's like all this junk
It's
inside of it
fantastic.
and stuff. I just thought that
It's
was kind of,
fantastic.
yeah, it's kind of cool. But yeah, that's rad. I love the journal idea. Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I have
Yeah, man.
one more question. I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Advice for aspiring artists. My advice, quite honestly, would be to read this book called Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I say that is because it's a book about advice to artists, and I just think every artist should read it. She says she just has like a lot of wisdom about the magic of creativity and how to honor the creative impulse in yourself, and treat it as something sacred.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my piece of advice. Read Big Magic.